Hi, my name is Joseph, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about animal testing. My proposition is that animal testing has had positive benefits to our society. Now I'm going to give you a little background information to help you get a better understanding of why animal testing is beneficial to human lives. Animal testing has made medical advances throughout the world. Things that have been found are insulin for diabetes, organ, corneal, bone marrow transplants, and much more. Experimenting on animals is better than experimenting on a human being because we want to save human lives, not help them die. Some people have argued that animal testing has not benefited humans. Christopher Anderer states animal research has had little consequence upon human medicine, but I believe animal testing does have positive benefits. My first claim is that animal testing has been used in our society for a long time and it benefits us by saving human lives. Animal testing has allowed us to experiment on animals instead of ourselves. Testing on animals allows us to see how the animals react to the medicine. According to Glenn Stacy and John Davis, most animals are used for confirmation of the absence of toxin and potency tests. They are stating by using animals, they are seeing how much potency and what medicine does and does not work, whether if it helps the animal or not. Animal testing went all the way back to the ancient Greeks and Romans. Animal testing has also been used in 1859 by Charles Darwin. In 1966, the United States passed the Animal Welfare Act, which ensured proper handling of animals by dealers. And in 1970, Congress amended this act to include care of the animals in research institutions stated by INS. My secondary claim is that with animal testing, we have advanced our scientific research. Where would we be at now if we did not have animals to test upon? There have been many vaccines found for different things. According to American Sociological Society, animal research has helped scientists to understand and find ways to prevent and treat diseases historically, such as there are no longer disease widespread like polio. At the present, including heart disease, diabetes, obesity, cancer, infectious diseases, including AIDS, tuberculosis, and inflammatory bowel disease like Crohn's disease. All this research continues to help human beings. While animal research being done, it has also benefited animals by improvements in veterinary care. Animal testing helps ensure the safety of drugs after it has proven to work on animals, such as dogs have 65% infectious diseases in common with humans, stated by Irish Times. Human and animals have many of the same parasites, viruses, and bacteria that can be transmitted to one another by, also stated by Irish Times, in a database of California. After seeing that the drug cured or helped the animal, it helps researchers get a better understanding of what it will do to a human. Animal researchers will know what to look for on a human being by doing research on animals first. My third supporting claim is that animal testing speeds up the process and gives us greater knowledge. By testing on animals, they can write down data that they see happening right away. As opposing to testing on a human being, they are not going to lock down a human so that they can do research on them and wait to see what happens. This is why animal testing is valuable, because they are able to have access to the animals at all times and be able to monitor what goes on. As for testing on a human, they would not be able to do that properly because the person would take the medicine or have a vaccine and leave. And if something was to go wrong, there would be no one around to help them. Therefore, this is why I think animal testing is beneficial to human lives. Now that I have discussed to you my three main topics about how animal testing is beneficial to human lives, advances our scientific research, how testing speeds up the process and gives us greater knowledge as far as medical research. I now want to thank you all for listening to my presentation about animal testing and why it is important. And this concludes my presentation.
All right, the subject's clear. You've got a good statement of your proposition. I was a little confused at first about the secondary claims in the preview, but you signposted them pretty clearly during the speech, and I thought that worked out well. You did a good job trying to explain why there's controversy at the beginning of the speech on this issue. On your first point, I thought that you had a good quote to start with, although I think you needed to qualify who the two people were that you were quoting, but then you just seemed to kind of stop on that issue and rely on explanation instead of providing us with some proof or illustrations on those points. I didn't hear any statistical information about the difference in life expectancy or the number of fewer diseases or how we've wiped out particular illnesses as a result of testing that's been done on animals. Heard a lot of claims about some research on a whole bunch of diseases, but you need to provide more specifics on that. The general information that you provided on how the research should accelerate our learning and give us additional information, I think that's a good point, but we're back to the same problem here, and that is that you don't have any demonstration or authority that shows that that is in fact the result of this. It seems like an intuitively obvious statement, but let's see the consequences that we, as a consequence, developed, like I said, a new chemical entity that addresses some illness that people have a little bit more quickly. Let's see. In the presentation, I think sometimes it's a little mechanical. You do a little bit more reading. I mean, it's clear that you're done with the speech. You're kind of fulfilling the basic obligations there, but it's a little heavy-handed when you're doing so, so maybe look for a lighter touch on that. All right, thank you.